And welcome back. We're live on Citizen Extra and also on my Instagram handle. So it appears this morning, and we continue with our conversation on the institutions that will determine the credibility of this election. We have spoken, at least in the first part of this program, on the IEBC, the police, and now we cross over to the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, which is a key institution that should be monitoring the tone of the political campaigns. And joining me this hour, the Director of Political Affairs for Jubilee, Bonke Komwai, joins us alongside David Osiani, who's a public policy analyst, and you're both welcome to the program. I want to start with you, David. In terms of NCIC, what's your scorecard for them? Have they been keeping the political class in check in as far as the rhetoric in the campaigns?
I bet, and as many other Kenyans, I'm persuaded that NCIC has been a toothless commission, that it has been unable to rein in on violence perpetrators of violence across the political divide, and therefore it seems to me as though they're taking home salaries that are undeserved. I would have really wished that NCIC, you know, stepped in, even though I heard the vice chair one time comment on television that their scope only allows them to meddle in inter-ethnic or intra-ethnic battles and differences. However, I bet even in that they have done extremely badly, as many of the political players have continued to bandy very, you know, inflaming statements, and yet nothing is done. I'd have expected to see them, you know, hound to the cells a number of these politicians who've been reckless with their statements, and correctly so, without acting, you know, in favor of one arm or looking as if they're tilted. Be that as it may, that's what they have chosen. So I mean, if I were to give them a score on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give them 1.5 to 2.5.
Wow, that is a harsh
very
score.
harsh,
That
very
is
realistic.
Oh, okay. Having said that, though, because you did mention that you feel the institution has been toothless, is that by design in terms of law, or do you think they have not acted on existing powers? And if that be the case, what exactly do you expect of them?
I bet it's about the will. It's not about the laws. The NCIC mandate is quite deeply entrenched. It has very supportive laws. However, I think because the commissioners themselves are political appointees, they would naturally end up, you know, leaning on one side and not wanting to mess up things. And once you have been leaning on one side, it becomes very hard then to extend your mandate to the countering side. Therefore, it will become very hard for them to act on both sides because they've been unable to rein in on one side of the game. So,
David, what exactly are you saying? You're saying the commission is pro which camp?
I am saying they're government appointees.
Put it out there.
I am saying they're government appointees. They were appointed by the serving regime. You know, the chair ran on an URP ticket, which is part of the Jubilee government. And so URP is a Jubilee party. Therefore, the chair and many of the commissioners are government appointees. Not that they are pro any camp, they are government appointees. They serve the regime of the day. It has become a challenge for them, therefore, to rein in on those people, for example, like my brother Moses Kuria, who have made inflammatory remarks. Now, it therefore becomes even harder to go and rein in on NASA people, some of whom, I don't want to disagree, have also been very, very bad with their statements. But how will you, when you did not step in to deal with previous instances that seem to have been government leaning? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so what you would be looking for in terms of any possible restoration of their credibility going into the election, what do you want to see?
I want Kenyans to be able to perceive them as doing their job. Perception is everything in political management. Politicians who have had a past in, you know, because they argue that the job is to focus on ethnic violence or on ethnic inflammatory messages. So I therefore expect them to hold to account political leaders or even other leaders not in politics who have been violating their very laws. as regards ethnic harmonization and stuff like that. Until we see some of these political bigwigs hounded into the cells, until they are fined heavily, until we have been able to hold them to account, then they will not be perceived as doing their job.
All right, fair enough. What is your assessment, Bonke?
Thank you, Anne, for hosting me this morning. Well, I would disagree with my brother David. I think this body, they have no one to arrest. I mean, it will force them now to look for animals in the bush. Because as far as I'm concerned, even if I look at my brothers from NASA and even in Jubilee, so far our politicians, they've been trying to observe some decorum in terms of whatever the information they're giving their supporters or their loyalists. So you cannot blame this body led by Honorable Ole Kaparo at the moment, because if you look at these politicians who used to say anything, be it in vernacular or on a national TV, actually our politicians, aspirants, even political analysts, we've been quite cautious on what we say on air, or even whatever we say on SMSs or on phone. So far our politicians, we should give credit to where it is. So they have no one to arrest at the moment.
And I think
and if my brother would disagree with me, then I can allow him to quote any politician who has misbehaved or who has abused anybody, who has said anything which can cause chaos.
But he's talked about Moses Kuria, and that happened, of course,
what did he say
earlier, and he got off with a
Something
kind of slap on the wrist.
Let's have facts here.
But the issue of Moses Kuria is ongoing. We can't discuss something which is in court.
No.
And as far as I'm concerned, for the last 1 month, I've not heard Moses Kuria saying anything which can cause chaos.
We are looking at an institution, and we are trying to see how well it can contribute to free and fair election. And I can tell you that your views could be your personal views and perhaps not the views of this country. You may be coming from some country that I don't know. But let's have facts here. And look, the truth of the matter is NCIS has hit some roadblock. There have been issues of the Pangani 6 that perhaps we don't know where that case has ended. There have been issues of the senator of Migori County that was actually taken to court, and the court went for a while and it was released. The case was dismissed eventually. There have been issues of leaflets that are being circulated in other parts of this country that are actually asking some community to start rethinking about their stay there. The question I'm asking is, NCIS just looking at what the politicians are saying, or they're also doing their own investigations in terms of such leaflets that are being distributed to ignite ethnic animosity? Right. And if that is their role, then perhaps they need to come up and tell us that there were leaflets in this area, we've done our investigation, this is the guy who actually engineered this leaflet, and he's been arrested and taken to court. The problem that NCIS is having is they can talk about an individual, do their own investigation, but they have no prosecuting power. The prosecuting power is with the DPP. It's the DPP, and the DPP also has to move a notch higher and say, I need the DCI to do the investigation.
But the DPP do rely, of course, on the kind of evidence that would be collected by the Commission.
And so,
you're right.
As my brother had said, I think this is an organization that the last we had them do a better job was during Dr. Kibunja. Yes, Dr. Mzalendo Kibunja. Kaparo to me has done literally nothing. It was just the other day, it was in the northern part of Kenya, and the leaders of the key leaders in the community did not even attend his meeting. And so the question is, has he lost the leadership of NCIS? Perhaps we need to look at what they're able to do. They're claiming that they have the gadgets and that they will be taping the politicians who are fueling violence or ethnical animosity. What we are saying is, once you find them culpable, is that enough evidence to take them to court? I can tell you that this country went to war after 2007-2008 general election because of bad words and incitement from politicians, and they should not allow to continue.
All right. We must quickly shift gears to another key institution to watch, which is the judiciary. And of course, at least in the last election, it was the Supreme Court that was really, you know, faced its fair share of challenges, was in a way put on trial itself in terms of the determination that it made, at least in as far as the opposition's standpoint. I'll start with you, David. Again, your thoughts?
I think.
Oh, John, have I ignored you a little bit? Go ahead. You can cut in. You can cut in on this one. What are your thoughts in terms of the judiciary reforms that we saw take place in this institution, and in particular, of course, the Supreme Court, which is the court that Kenyans will be watching really to arbitrate if there is any dispute surrounding the election?
Yeah, thank you very much, Anne. And of course, I did not give a contribution on the other issue.
Yes, but stick on judiciary as we must move on.
Yeah, but again, just to point out on the NCIC, they need to do more.
Please, sir, we must move on because of time.
That's okay.
So I beg your pardon and kindly refer yourself to the question of the judiciary.
One of the issues that has been brought up in the Supreme Court is that since the Supreme Court came on board, it has not really taken the lead in terms of how it ought to have done. And you will hear a lot of advocates and also the scholars saying that they do not have real and serious jurisprudence which has come from the kind of decisions that have been done and made by the Supreme Court. And of course, those are some of the issues that are important to think about. But if you look at the way the judiciary now has acted and the way the judiciary has been doing its work, you see there has been a lot of independence in terms of the work they have done. In fact, one of the issues that have been seen by the public, even by the politicians, even government, is that sometimes the judiciary is so independent to the extent that it seems removed from the reality in our situation. For example, like when some decisions are made and they kind of seem to hamper the progress of certain areas, like even like the electoral process, then it looks like they are removed. And of course, these are because of their independence. So I do not want to think that there will be a problem, especially when it comes to handling the post-election petitions that will come, especially the presidential one, and which will be handled by the Supreme Court. As you know, they have the original jurisdiction to handle the presidential election. Now, I think they have prepared well, and we have seen them having meetings, and even the president of the court has said that they are ready and willing and able and have the capacity to handle any issues that will arise from this electoral process. Now, what I think is that the political divide that we have in Kenya, they need to, of course, have a lot of trust and belief in the judiciary. You have seen at some point when the IBC went for an appeal on the issue of the announcement and the finality of the votes counting process at the constituency versus the national level. You remember at that point there was one political side coalition that said they would want to, they actually said they would boycott the elections if IBC went to challenge or even went to seek clarification at the Court of Appeal. But what came out of the Court of Appeal was a very independent decision, which showed that should this coalition have proceeded on a boycott, then of course it would have given Kenyans
I mean, just go ahead and say NASA.
It was NASA that had said that if you go to the Court of Appeal, we are going to boycott the election. Now, you can imagine if indeed they would have gone on a boycott, then that would have shortchanged Kenyans, not knowing that the judiciary was ready and willing to do their work independently. So what I think is, let us have trust and believe in these institutions. And the more positively we talk about these institutions as politicians, the better, so that the public then can also gain that confidence. But if we keep on, beating them and poking holes onto their work, then it's going to be a very, very big problem. And
all right, Bonke, your thoughts in terms of the judiciary as a political party player? What are your expectations in terms of their credibility?
I think so far, judiciary, they've really shown Kenyans that we can trust the judiciary. Now it's upon the president, the current president of the Supreme Court, Honorable Justice Maragwa. So far, I don't think if even NASA should complain, because of late they've been winning cases in court. I think now they should even raise what judiciary has been doing of late. Another thing is that if the two political parties cannot agree, that is Jubilee and NASA, after this election, then it will be upon the judiciary now to decide and to determine the future of this country. So we still believe in judiciary, and I know very well that if we cannot agree after 8th of August, then we will have to run to Supreme Court, which we will seek justice. If we have a problem with NASA, we will be the first party to rush to judiciary to seek for our justice. And if NASA, they may have a problem with Jubilee Party, then we would advise them to do so, because we trust, and we know very well that the judiciary will process a quite credible. They will give us justice at the end of the day.
Yeah, so but I suppose what I'm asking you specifically, what for you would be the indicators that the judiciary is in fact looking at this credibly? We do know that there are various petitions that are already before the courts. Are those cases that you're going to be watching very closely in order to tell you as to, you know, the direction in which the judiciary, you know, may be approaching this election?
I think I don't want to talk on behalf of the judiciary. You know, judiciary is an independent body. So far, they are doing their work so well. We've never complained, and actually, even our brothers from NASA, they've never complained about the judiciary. So we believe in them, and we know very well that if there is anything we have to go to judiciary, we will get justice from the Supreme Court. All
right, David, your thoughts on the courts and their independence in the run-up to this election?
The constitution of this country, sorry, envisages an independent judiciary, and increasingly, I must say, the judiciary has seemed or appeared to be much more independent. And, you know, we have the former Chief Justice, Willie Mutunga, and also the incumbent, David Maraga, to thank for that. However, one would argue that that has been only because it has been tested at the lower levels. That is the High Court and the Court of Appeal. There hasn't been anything to robustly test that independence at the Supreme Court level, which will primarily be the most important as regards the forthcoming general elections. You would remember that in 2013, the CORD presidential candidate, Raila Odinga, having felt that the election was not free or fair, went to the judiciary. They expressed with the matter, and once they did, they gave their ruling. But my brother, who is the lawyer, Kagoshia, will tell you that in law, there is need for justice, but then also the need for the appearance of justice to have been done. Such as when I go to court with a matter, I must not only, the judge will give a ruling, but it must not only be a ruling that is just. The people must then interrogate it and say, indeed, it seems just. The Supreme Court took a hit when there was allegations and accusations of corruption. So they go into an election with question marks. That is as regards the former Supreme Court judge, who then left because it was believed he had been bribed by the current Nairobi governor. When they have such defects heading into an election, you have a base, a support base, that believed in 2013 that there seemed not to have been justice in the corridors of justice of the Supreme Court, looking and thinking, are they going to be bought again? Is there a possibility that they would be compromised? Now, the president of the Supreme Court must then, and the Chief Justice, must assure Kenyans that we are credible, we are people of integrity, we will dispense of these matters with utmost integrity. At the end of the day, they must persuade Kenyans and let them believe in the institution itself, so that as Kenyans go into an election, they know that should there be any difference in opinion, should there be a problem, should one of the parties believe that their results were rigged or whatever the problem may have been, then they will be fair judges.
But having said that, and Michael, let me come to you, we already, you know, seeing something that may be peculiar in terms of the courts. You'll remember that at the point that NASA tried to stop, you know, the printing of ballot papers, the decision that was given by the courts then is that IEBC cannot be stopped until the hearing of that case, you know, was heard and determined.
Yes.
But we have seen in the dailies today a quote attributed to the Chief Justice saying that he does not think that it is, you know, prudent for IEBC to be, you know, going ahead and printing these papers whilst there is a case before the court. Yet it is one of the courts that gave IEBC the lead ahead with this. What does that almost double speak, some would say, you know, say about the thinking of the court in the run-up to the election?
And there's a problem. When I heard the advice of the Supreme Court to IEBC that perhaps they should start printing the ballot papers because there are still court cases that are pending, and in fact it gave reference to even constituting a court, you know, of judges that were going to hear some cases, some petition cases on the aspirants specifically. I don't know what he meant, but I want to say this. I want to say that it will be very difficult not to have a deadline from the courts to say this is the last day that we must hear all the appeals and petitions against the aspirants to allow IEBC to print their papers. If we want to have court cases until 2 days to the election, I am telling you, perhaps we are not being honest to IEBC and to this country. It doesn't matter whether the court process needs to take place or not. In this case, we must know that the Constitution says that this country needs to have go to election on the 8th of August. And therefore, why can't the court have a deadline of all these cases, and they need to sit with IEBC and say this will be the only time frame we have. From this day we will have submitted all the names to the printer, and it will be practically impossible for us to erase and paste as the Chief Justice somehow was trying to insinuate. I strongly believe that IEBC and the courts at this particular time need to have a meeting and say this will be the deadline, ban the midnight oil, and ensure that the rulings are made so that we have the final list. Otherwise, we're going to run into a problem. I totally agree with Mr. Osian, and you know, giving us the analogy of what happened in the last general election. I can say this. To date, I am more satisfied with the courts than any other time in the history of this country. I think they've been quite impartial in their rulings. They have not been infiltrated as much as the public might have thought from the government side. And they've been ruling cases. In fact, if anything, NASA has won several cases that sometimes makes even NASA be suspicious. Now, what if we had not gone to court? Did Jubilee know that these things were happening and so they were okay with it? They were waiting, well, let's see if they see the abnormalities and the issues in IEBC and go to court, and if not, we are fine with it. But I think they've won so many cases for us to have credibility on the lower courts, whether it's at the High Court and the Court of Appeal. To me, that is a good precedent that things might be better even at the general election. My problem, however, we need to look at very carefully is how long does the cases that emanate from the election take before they're concluded?
Yeah, there certainly need to be time bound, but I believe we have seen the judiciary try to do that, you know, hearing cases sometimes even just, you know, in 2 days and going ahead, you know, to try and expedite it. But certainly your point is made, sir. Let me just take some feedback from what people are saying online. We're live on my Instagram page, and Tony GK says, I personally don't think the judiciary has a problem. They are impartial. The problem is political parties forwarding cases in bad faith to IEBC, and it is true that to some extent there has been concern in terms of the number of cases that are going before the courts. Israel Kesekwa says he feels the judiciary has been partisan to the current administration because they are appointees of the same. Of course, these names went through Parliament, so you know both sides of the House were involved, and quite some interesting feedback coming on. I'll see some more very shortly. But before we do wind up on this, I must let our audience know that we are standing by to take you to Kajiado, where President Uhuru Kenyatta has kicked off his campaigns today. Let's listen to what he's saying and we'll talk.
Wenzangu wa mashuru hamjambo. Kajiado East, hamjambo? Hebu tusalimiane kidogo tafadhali pahali tulipo. Asanteni sana. Tuwashukuru ukaribisho wenu. Tukiwa leo tumekuja kuwatembelea. Tukiwa vile Perez amesema hapo, tumegojea kwa muda mrefu. Hii barabara ambaye mwishowe itajitokeza ishikanishe Kajiado ifike mpaka ile barabara ingine ya kutembea mpaka Loitoktok, si ndio? Na hii tukishamaliza tunataka pia tushikanishe kutoka Kajiado twende mpaka Suswa. Tunaelewana? Na hiyo tukiimaliza, mimi sina shaka ya kwamba kaunti ya Kajiado sasa itafunguka. Si ni kweli? Itafunguka. Na hiyo ndio nia yetu sisi, kuhakikisha ya kwamba tumeweza kuletea maendeleo wananchi wetu wa Kenya. Sisi hatuna siasa duni. Haja yetu ni tusambazie watu stima. Na sisi tuwasema kila Mkenya ana haki ya kupata stima. Awe anaishi nyumba ya mawe, awe anaishi kwa manyata, ako na haki ya kupatiwa stima na ndio aweze kuendelesha maisha yake. Sisi tuwasema tuwataka wakina mama wetu wajifungue bure katika mahospitali yetu ya serikali, kwa sababu hiyo ndiyo njia pia ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba tumechunga afya ya wakina mama wetu. Au ni namna gani jameni? Si ni kweli? Na ndipo tuwasema, mnajua kulikuwa pia na silikuwa na mradi wa wazee. Na wazee wakati sisi tulichukua serikali kulikuwa tu wazee 200,000 peke yake ambao walikuwa wanapata ile cash transfer. Sasa tumeongeza idadi mpaka 700,000. Na kwa sababu tumeona vile hiyo pesa inainua hali ya maisha ya wazee wetu na wajane na walemavu, tumesema ya kwamba kutoka mwaka ujao tunataka kuongeza idadi ya wale ambao wanapata pesa hiyo ifike 1,400,000, na tuhakikishe ya kwamba kila mzee katika taifa la Kenya ambaye amefikisha miaka 70 atakuwa anapokea hiyo pesa kila mwezi. Tunaelewana? Na hiyo njia ya kuondoa umaskini na kuhakikisha ya kwamba wazee wetu wanaishi maisha ya ungwana katika uzee wao. Au ni namna gani? Si namna hiyo? Sisi hatuna siasa hii wenzetu wanakuja kulete hapa, siasa ya kugombanisha Wakenya. Wacheni niwaambie jameni, siasa hii ya kugombanisha Wakenya ndio inasababisha umaskini katika taifa. Na nataka niwahakikishie ya kwamba Wakenya wasipoungana na washikane pamoja, hakuna maendeleo tutapata. Mtu akikuja hawa Wakenya kwa misingi ya kikabila, tumekuwa huru. Shida yetu imekuwa nini? Imekuwa mgawanyiko. Na hata wale ambao wanakuja kulete hiyo siasa, mimi na mambo yale yote ambayo wanataja yao katika uongozi wa taifa hili, wengine ambao wamekuwa ukihesabu hawa ambao wanaongea sasa, Kalonzo ndio huyo kutoka 1981. Sisi ndio tumeenda kupeleka maji hata kwa kijiji yake nyumbani. Sisi ndio tumemwekea maji kwake. Huko Seikuru sisi. Raila dunia yote amekuwa akiongea hapa akisema kutoka awe waziri wa barabara, jameni hii barabara kwa nini hakutengeneza? Aseme jameni. Ukienda kwa title deed ya watu wake, ni serikali yetu imepatia Wanubi title deed yao na ndio waweze waendeleshe maisha yao. Serikali ya Jubilee ndio imetoa titles zaidi ya 3,500,000 katika muda wa miaka 4. Zile titles ambazo zilitolewa na serikali ya Kenya kutoka tupate uhuru hazikuwa zimeshinda 2 million. Kwa nini hawakuwa wameweza kufanya kazi hiyo? Wenzetu Lazima watu wajiulize. Na ndipo sisi wanajubilii tunahubiri umoja. Ndio sisi wanajubilii tunasema tushikane. Na mimi nawahakikishia ya kwamba siasa duni hakuna pahali itapeleka Kenya. Siasa ambayo itatuongoza ni siasa ya kuunganisha Wakenya, na ndio tuwe na viongozi ambao wanashughulikia Wakenya wote. Si mimi ndio nilikuja nikaomba mwenzenu hapa wa Kajiado Central akuje awe waziri wa usalama? Kwani yeye ni Mkikuyu? Wacheni nyinyi jameni. Huyu Aden Duale hapa ambaye ni kiongozi wa wengi, si ni Msomali? Kweli? Kwani ni Mkalenjin? Ati ndio mkuje mletewa hapa siasa ya kusema nini na nini? Jameni, fikirieni mbele. Kama tunataka kukuza Kajiado, tukuze kwa umoja. Tunaelewana wenzangu? Na ndipo sisi tuwasema kutoka mwaka ujao ndio tuhakikishe, kwa sababu njia ya kumaliza umaskini pia tusomeshe watoto wetu. Na tunajua Wakenya wengi na watoto wengi wanashindwa kumaliza shule kwa sababu ya ukosefu wa karo. Kweli ama sio ukweli? Na ndipo tumesema sisi mpangilio ambao tumeweka kwa muda wa miaka 4 tumekuwa kwa serikali. Sasa tuko tayari kuhakikisha ya kwamba kutoka mwaka ujao kila mtoto ambaye ataenda form 1 mpaka form 4 hakuna karo kulipa tena. Tunaelewana? Na ndio watoto wote wetu waweze kusoma kwa njia sawa. Mtu asiseme ya kwamba mtoto amebaki nyumbani kwa sababu mzazi amekosa karo. Tunaelewana? Na tukisomesha watoto, na ndipo tunajenga TTI. Na hata hapa Kajiado East kuna TTI tumejenga. Ndio wale watoto ambao watamaliza form 4 na hawataweza kwenda university, mtu anaweza kupata mafunzo kutoka kwa TTI. Na tumesema ya kwamba kutoka mwaka ujao kila mtoto ambaye ataingia na amalize TTI au amalize university, serikali itamsimamia kwa mwaka mmoja akiwa anapata internship, akijifunza, apate experience, na ndio aweze kupata kazi kwa sababu amepata masomo. Hiyo ni idadi ya kila mwaka watoto 1,100 ambao watakuwa na ajira, na kila mtoto akipata shilingi 10,000. Jameni, hiyo ndiyo njia ya kumaliza umaskini. Njia ya kumaliza umaskini si kupiganisha makabila. Kupiganisha makabila ni umwagikaji wa damu, ni umaskini. Tunaelewana wenzangu? Na ndipo sisi tunawauliza kwa heshima, jameni, Mashuru, Kajiado East, tutatembea pamoja jameni? Tutatembea pamoja? Au hii ni story mnaniambia tu hapa kusema tu? Unajua imebaki mwezi moja tu tutaona. Si ni kweli? Mtakuwa kwa Jubilee? Mtatupigia kura? Hii Mashuru hii kuna kura ya uhuru hapa? Hebu nione kwa mikono, nione ni wangapi wanasema ya kwamba itakuwa hivyo. Tutembee pamoja jameni, tujenge Kenya pamoja. Tumalize kuunganishia watu stima, tumalize kwa barabara, tumeanza tayari. Mambo ya maji tunataka kuendelea naye. Tusomeshe watoto wetu jameni, tupambane na umaskini, tuweke Wakenya pamoja na tuishi kwa amani. Au ni namna gani? Hiyo district ambayo mmesikia Lenku hapo akitaja, hiyo ni kuhakikisha pia ya kwamba umeongeza vidadi ya wale watoto hapa ambao watakuwa wanaandikwa kwenda jeshi, kwenda police, kwenda prisons. Jameni, ni nini ingine tunataka jameni? Kuna tutatembea pamoja? Mashuru, tutatembea pamoja? Hebu nione tena kwa mikono ni wangapi wanasema tutatembea pamoja. Mimi nasema Mungu awabariki, Mungu awalinde, na tutarudi tena, si ndio? Asanteni sana na kwaheri ya kuonana.
And now we can bring you breaking news. President Uhuru Kenyatta has opted out of the presidential debates and will not be taking part. This has been confirmed by the Jubilee Party chairman, David Murathe, saying that the president made the decision owing to a lack of consultation. This certainly is a major announcement. You will recall, of course, at the time that he was just a candidate in the last election, he did take part in the presidential debates, but this time round, as incumbent, has opted out, citing a lack of consultation. And I'll come to my panel on that. Your reactions, gentlemen, on the fact that the president will not be taking part in this debate. What do you think? Is it a good look for him?
I think it is the worst decision that the president has made. Worse because then it looks like he has chickened out and is unable to explain a few things to the country. It comes at a time when there is a lot of questions ranging from the industrial inactions, the strikes among the nurses, doctors. You know, you will have to then address NCIS, Eurobond. You will have to address our debt ceiling. Why did we overshoot it? For the president to have chickened out is a very bad show. It's absolutely bad for the optics. It then shows that maybe the president and his team may have learned that they are going into this election the weaker ones, and that provides even a weaker link for them to be interrogated as the country watches. I hope they reconsider that. Why? Because as the incumbent, he may have to come out and explain himself and declare to the nation. But some of these things that the opposition has said, if he feels some of them have been mere propaganda, that would have provided the best avenue for it to clarify.
Let's speak to the Jubilee man in the House, Bonke.
Yes.
Are you disappointed by this decision, the president opting out of the presidential debates? He says it is owing to a lack of consultation. Your thoughts? Chickening out?
I would love to get official message from the president, but
this has been confirmed by your party chairman, David Morathe.
No, I will confirm that in 2 hours. I will post it on my page. But I'm quite disappointed because the level of propaganda the opposition is spreading in this country, if the president make a mistake by dismissing this issue of the debate, I mean, it's going to be a hit on him. I would advise him to go for that because he has done a lot. In 2 weeks' time, we are expecting the president to flag off some 2 major roads in Homa Bay County. Jubilee government has done a lot in terms of electricity, access electricity to Wananchi, be it roads, be it the issue of the laptop. So he has a lot to share with Kenyans and to convince Kenyans that he's the only person who can actualize and conceptualize the Vision 2030. Wherever the president to be is saying.
Michael Lagwan, let's go to Michael. Absolutely running out of time. Reaction to this bit of breaking news confirmed by the vice chairman.
I'm hoping that on the 17th of this month, literally that they will advise him well, but I think he is waiting for the government to defend their activities and their projects in the last few years. And the country is waiting to hear from NASA specifically, and it will be enough time for them to even perhaps for us to interrogate properly well, that these people will be able to come very strongly and defend what is in their manifesto without necessarily reading it. I'm hoping that this is just something that perhaps is going to overcome, and they will announce again that he will be in for the debate.
Certainly out of time, but an important bit of news, and that's all the time that we have on Citizen Extra. We apologize, we won't be able to get on the trends. We will be following this bit of break for you and reaction throughout the day as the Jubilee chairman confirms this morning that President Uhuru Kenyatta will not be taking part in the presidential debates owing to what they have termed as a lack of consultation. That's time. I'm Anki Guta. Citizen Extra continues in Swahili. Stay with Citizen TV.